All right, so I'm outside of a 2019 Honda Fit. This is the EX model. Easiest way to tell, honestly, if you're looking at one is going to be the wheels. If you're looking at an LX model, you'll notice they're going to have this standard steel hubcap with the hubcap cover. And if you're looking at a Sport, it's going to have the blacked out wheel finish. So this car has smart key entry, so I can just walk up, grab the door handle, it'll pop open for me and I can hop in. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a couple things. First off, I wanted you to see a couple of features of this car that I really like. Notice right here I have the seats folded up, so if you wanted to load in a bike, you could fold them both up. And then I have them folded flat over here, so you can see that too. So two different options as far as in the back of this car, the ways you can do the seats. And it's pretty simple as far as just flipping them down and things like that. So if you want to get an idea for cargo space, this car actually has a good amount of cargo space for being such a little car. So I'm going to walk around the back, see if I can flip open this tailgate for you. So with it folded down, you can see, I mean, I've got a good amount of space that I can work from here. So that is what I've got going on there. Let's hop inside of the car and we'll walk you through some stuff. All right. So now that we're in here, the EX model is going to come with the moonroof, push button start, remote key entry, things like that. And I'll walk you through and explain what everything is. So starting over on the left side, you've got your power windows with your auto up down on your driver's side door. You do have your locks and then your window locks, and then your mirrors left and right, and then you adjust on the pad. Over here, you're gonna notice some buttons. So this is gonna be my lane departure system. It's highlighted right now, so it's on. So if I start to veer out of my lane, because this car has Honda sensing, it'll shake the wheel and then beep at me. Collision mitigated braking system is above. It's always on unless I want to turn it off. To turn it off, I want to press this. Takes a couple seconds, and then you'll see that orange light come on up there. I'm gonna turn it back on though. There we go. So it takes a little while to turn it on and off. Same thing with vehicle stability assist. I have to press and hold it for 3 to 4 seconds to turn it off. This is in the event that I go into a skid, it'll transfer power to whichever wheel has better traction to help correct. Only time you'd want to turn this off is if you were stuck in the mud and wanted to spin your tires. Your Econ button up above that, whenever I turn that, you'll see this green leaf come on, so that's how this system works. And that will improve gas mileage, but in doing so, it's gonna shut down some electrical systems in the front end of the car, affecting things like the AC unit, it's gonna dampen it a little bit, and your accelerator is gonna dampen it a little bit. Moving up is probably one of the most popular things about this car for anybody who's ever owned one is the cup right here. It's set up right by your vent too, so if it's cold drink, you can keep it cool, the AC on in the summer, and in the winter, you can blow hot air on your coffee and keep it hotter a little bit longer. So it's just kind of nice and it sits up nice and high, so it's easier to grab hold of. Moving over to the steering wheel. My plus and minus right here are going to be my volume controls. Left and right buttons right here are going to jump between, my favorite stations on the radio, jump to the next track if I'm doing Bluetooth or if I have a USB hooked up, so things like that. So that's what this is. This button right here is going to jump between two menus, and I'll show you. It'll jump between Bluetooth and audio, so it's just a quick jump, like a shortcut for you to make life a little bit easier. So that's how this works. And then from here, down here, you'll notice there's this button, and this is a menu screen button. So when I press this, it's gonna pull up that, and that way you could shift what you're doing off of the steering wheel, you know, as far as scanning and searching for different radio stations or whatever you have pulled up, it'll give you the menu per that screen. So that's what this button does right here. Down below, there's 3 triggers that you'll pull towards you, and that's to answer a phone call, to hang up or go back, and then voice command. So voice command will work in the sense of, hey, call this person or that sort of thing. If you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto hooked up, it also works with Siri or OK Google, and I'll explain more about that here in just a second. Moving over to the other side of the steering wheel, first thing I'm gonna point out is the main button right here. When you turn that on, you're gonna see ACC and LKAS come on, so you can see it flashing up there. And that stands for Adaptive Cruise Control and Lane Keep Assist. So the first one I'll start off with is the Adaptive Cruise Control. When I get to the speed I want, I'm gonna set this. So now I'm gonna set my speed right, and then I'm gonna press this to create distance between me and in front of me, and you'll see these boxes right here. The more boxes, that means the more space between you and the car in front of you. So it'll slow down and speed up, you know, it'll detect the car in front of you using radar in the grille, and it's gonna leave a determined amount of space that you set between you and that car. So that way you don't have to turn your cruise control on and off and things like that. So that's how this works. And then obviously you can lower the speed or raise the speed on the go, just like any other normal cruise control. Now, Lane Keep Assist is this button down here. This works from 45 miles an hour to 95. And when you turn this button on, you're gonna see some dotted lines coming up here. So let's see if I can get them to flash on and off at you. When those fill in solid, which should be after 45 miles an hour and it's reading the road, it'll help correct for you. So it'll keep you in your lane. You just feel slight pulls as it centers you and keeps you centered in that lane. What it's doing is it's actually using the camera that's up in this box right here to detect lines on the road. So keep in mind that, I mean, this isn't something that's gonna drive itself, but it is gonna help you from drifting out of your lane and hitting another car. So this isn't self-driving technology, but it is kind of heading down that road, right? If you have your windshield wipers on, remember that this feature does not work, so keep that in mind. They want you to focus on the road if it's raining out there. Now, a little bit above the steering wheel, you can see paddle shifters. I've got a plus over here and I've got a minus over here, so I can adjust a little bit more control over the car as far as on the go. Moving to this side, I do have auto on and off headlights. You can see I can set that up. And then my fog light controls are here. Now they're on, now they're off. And then you'll notice there is a button on the tip of the speaker stock. So this button is connected to a camera. I can either turn the right blinker on, and it'll turn this camera on, and you'll see all down the right side, and I'll show you where that camera is. You can see it hanging off the bottom of that mirror right there. And what it does is red line is the end of your car, red to orange is a car length, and then orange to orange is a secondary car length. And you can turn these hashtags on and off in the settings, so just so you know. I don't have to turn my right blinker on to do this. I can press that button on the tip of the blinker stock and turn it on and off whenever I want. So if I was driving down the road, heard a motorcycle and couldn't figure out where he went, I would be able to turn it on and go, oh, there he is. I don't need to get over. I just want to know if he's sitting in my blind spot. So that's what this camera's for, help you out. On the other side, you're gonna have your windshield wiper controls. Pull it all the way down to use the front. The back is gonna be controlled strictly off the little tab at the end, and then it is intermittent, so just keep that in mind. Moving over off of that, you can see your flashers are right here, and then the audio touchscreen. You notice there is a volume knob now, so that was one thing that was requested, and so Honda has added it. I'm gonna move to your home screen just to show you some stuff here. So audio-wise, let's walk you through some options there and show you everything that the car has to offer. You've got FM, you've got AM, you've got 90 days of satellite radio, you have USBs you can plug into as far as thumb drives. Anything with an eye will pretty much plug in and play. You have Bluetooth, so you can wirelessly connect up, whether it's Android, whether it's iPhone, doesn't matter. It's Pandora compatible. If you're a Spotify guy or if you use anything else, I know that Apple CarPlay is going to help you out with that, and then Bluetooth alone will help you out with that. So jumping back to the home screen, info button right here is going to pull up general tripometer information, or you can load a screensaver there too, so just be aware that that's how this works. Then I've got my range, so how many miles I have on this tank of gas too. So I'm gonna jump back out of this. My phone right here, once I've connected up a phone to the car, this is where I could go to get to my contacts, go to get to recent calls, things like that, my speed dials. To connect up a phone, we'll go to settings, and then we'll go to Bluetooth/Wi-Fi. And then from there, we're gonna go to Bluetooth device list. And then at the bottom, add a Bluetooth device. And then it'll start to search for your car or your phone once you've selected that. So that's how you do it if you need to add one to your car. Just be aware of that. Moving back out of that screen. So below here, smartphone connection. This is what I was mentioning earlier about Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you plug into the USB down there with the phone on it, so you can see it right there, you can essentially pull the navigation off of your phone, your music, your messages. You can get to a lot of different things from there. I've seen Pandora, I've seen iHeartRadio. So a lot of different apps are available using this system, and it's just kind of nice. So like if I have an Android-based phone, which I do, I can get Google Maps there, or I can get Waze. If you have an iPhone right now, you have access to Apple Maps, so just be aware of that. I know that a lot of people like Google Maps a little bit more, but right now you don't have the transition of both, but you do have the option of essentially free navigation using your phone. So that's how that works. There's plenty of videos out there, and I've even got a couple if you want to watch them. Honda Link, this is just a place to connect up your phone to your car, and it allows you to receive like maintenance notices, recall notices, things like that, just to keep you up to date as far as what's going on with the car. Now the AC controls are pretty simple: hot and cold, how much air, where you want it to go. So pretty straightforward settings there. And then of course AC, do I want to recycle or bring fresh air in? And then as far as the defrost. Down below you saw that I have a 12 volt power outlet. I do have the USB there. I got some cup holders and stuff down here. My emergency brake is still a pull handle. And then I do have a center console that I can open up, and I have another USB and power outlet in there also. As far as the rest of the car goes, they all come with a black interior, so that's part of the fit. It's always been like that. You can see the back of them still folded down. It's always going to be black across the car, so just be aware of that. If you're looking into one, this is something that is part of the interior. I live in Texas, so you can see right now, 102 degrees out there. But if you have any questions about the car, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you. Comment on the YouTube video if you want. You can always call me, 512-443-4300. Just ask for Justin. Or you can email me, the letter J, and then Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R, @howdyhonda.com. Thank you much.